Hi, I'm Becky, and this is Becky's Homestead. In this episode, we are going to be talking about gardening a little more because gardening is such an important aspect of homesteading. I was not raised as a gardener, so I am totally a beginning gardener. So I just want to point out a few things that I've noticed that work for me. Let's go outside and have a look. I just want to encourage people not to give up with their gardening skills. This is my third year of having a garden, and the first two were total flops. I started out very enthusiastically, and I don't know what happened. I just somehow lost interest. So this year I thought I'd have a whole new approach and start different. What I did is I decided to have a round, more of kind of a little hodgepodge garden, the kind you can sit in. The big rectangle kind, I lost interest in. I don't know if it's because it just seemed like such a chore or what. But this year I'm doing so good, and I'm so excited about my little round garden. I have little sections, and here's my little tomato section, and here's a squash section, and I have cucumbers over there. And I've basically just built it out of just scrap stuff that people have wanted to throw away and stuff I've had around the homestead here. I've actually used old PVC pipe. I've used some flashing, which, by the way, is a great idea because the chickens don't want to jump on the sharp metal to get into the garden. And I think it's just high enough to keep the little rabbits out of my garden. So I had extra flashing, and it's ended up working really, really well. What I'm going to do is behind me, I'm going to have a little walkway through the garden, and it's going to have a circle in the middle that's big enough to have a chair and a little table, so you can sit in the garden and have a drink or chit-chat on the phone if you feel like it. Another thing I also like is flowers and vegetables, and with this circle garden I can incorporate both because I'm putting the flowers on the outside and then I'm having all the fruits and vegetables on the inside. So what I want to encourage people to do is be really creative with your garden. Don't just try to do the square, boring kind of garden, although there are personalities where that works perfect and they just do fantastic. Give it a try, and you have to kind of figure out which way you do best. But gardening is very important to a homesteader. Most homesteads, I would actually say all homesteads have a garden because we do want to produce as much of our own food as possible. That is being self-sufficient and being a homesteader. One thing I want to point out to my viewers is my garden friends have come over this year and they ask me what my secret is and what I'm doing right because my tomatoes are putting theirs to shame. And I just think that is so funny because all I've done is take a little garden cart and gotten a garden cart full of horse manure, and each section I have put a garden cart full of manure, just one, and then I take the hoe and I hoe it into the soil. The soil still looks very sandy, but it must have just enough nutrients for all the plants, and that's literally all I've done. Besides that, I do water my garden every evening, and I've just had such good success. So I don't think we need as many fertilizers and pest control and all that other spray-on stuff that people try to convince us that we need. Just try to be as simple as possible, and I think we'll all be healthier for it. One thing I did want to point out is how I keep my seeds. Because gardening is hard work, so you will get some exercise. It is more convenient to keep all your seeds in one place. I found this old antique sewing box, I guess it is. So I just wanted to, kind of show you that. And what I was going to show you also are the two different kinds of seeds I have, the heirloom and then the regular. And if you do want to use heirloom seeds, you can find a supplier through your local library, or you can go online. There are people that sell the heirloom seeds. Also, you can refer to a previous episode and find out how to start your little seedlings the best way. We did interview a master gardener, and she explains to us how to start little seedlings. It depends where you live what your seed box will look like, but I just suggest getting some kind of a seed box for yourself. Well, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to email me. Happy homesteading! Bye-bye! I've learned that having them in one place is really easy because gardening is hard work, so we need seeds.